Hello there. So in this video, I want to look at why MidJourney still be #1. Even all of these big competitions going on, but why the MidJourney it still perform as the best AI generated tool. So let's look first on the competition. What is MidJourney currently stand against? And of course, the first one, which is everything, is a Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion is very popular for the reason it's it's open source. So you can actually install on your local machine, and it provides so much variety of the options with all extensions, plugins, models, and everything that is truly become almost platform as a Linux on OS. If you're not familiar, you'll have it Mac OS, you have it Windows, and you have it Linux. I'm avoiding saying that Mac OS, of course, based on BSD on a Linux system, but generally what I was saying, like UI, like people who is artists, they prefer Mac for the reason they don't need to deal it with the OS settings. You just open, it works, and you just worry only about your creativity, not how the application run. In the Linux, you actually can go inside and tweak, adjust customization. So much can customize to what you needed. It's what powerful tool become of the Linux, and Windows somewhere between this. So in some cases, I will say the Stable Diffusion on local machine or Collab. It is more like a Linux where you can optimize all necessary stuff. Okay, so, and of course, if we speak about Stable Diffusion, we also have it all services that's starting because of the Stable Diffusion, what is based on. And some of them, like for example, Mage.space, that utilize a lot of different models and options you can work, but they're all based on a Stable Diffusion. And if you actually want it, you can take all these models and load it on your local machine and run there. However, you can also pay some small fee to access here on a Stable Diffusion. So besides Stable Diffusion, another one's actually was popular, and it still be there. It's a Dall-e. It's one of the first ones beside Wombo or other things that is created, and it still does perform very well. However, I think the current model of the OpenAI company right now, they're more focused on a chat GPT and maybe on some video productions, and Dall-e I think slowly start kind of fall behind, but you still can access. One thing, online services, most of them will require you pay money or subscriptions one way or another. Some of them you can access for free. Of course, some services like, for example, Night Cafe, where you can access and you can create with Dall-e or with Stable Diffusion, so you can select what service you want to use it. So they're like hybrids between multiple ones. Okay, seems like we have these competitions, but here's what MidJourney stands out. It is allowed to create, and of course here's another one, the Blue Willow service that is also utilized Discord, same like MidJourney, and this is provide kind of based on Stable Diffusion, but I think they're tweaking more with the model. It is model that look on a prompt and loading model and working with model that is best fit to your prompt that you're putting in. Okay, so right here we have it kind of all these different competitions, but do they all same produce quality is what we'll look on an image, because eventually what you want to do, you want to be sure the applications or the generator will create art according to the prompt what you want it, or how good it is and professionally can look. And with a hand down, MidJourney the best. It's without question. You know, you can be a fan of one or another ones, but realistically, if we look on all the performance what is created, and I run tests what we'll look in a second, but you can see how well it's performed for your entrance. And even they're updating constantly. MidJourney add new algorithms, they polish. Like for example, in one latest, you can see that actually perform properly amount of fingers. If you remember, it was a big deal about how many limbs, how many fingers you have, all that stuff. So they're actually constantly polishing, even they don't announce, but they constantly refine the model, so it's work better. And as usual result, like you can see, it's very detailed, very nice done work with the model. And of course, let's look on some example of the strings and how it performs and other things. So right here we have the realistic mushroom home, goblin home, ground level corner, all that stuff. So right here, for example, the home, it was created as a goblin mushroom home, and definitely with a MidJourney, it's created very nice looking watercolor, kind of more impression painting effect. This a little bit close up, and you can see it does apply very good with a prompt. Okay. So we can same. Let's go on a blue willow, and you can see we have it a little bit less, even it specifies watercolor here, same like before, but it's look a little bit more realistic. However, it does produce very good details, very nice texturing, like small details, texturing gone very good. But again, it's a little bit off, and a little bit still be more kind of simple cartoonish, I will say. I don't know how properly say, but it's not necessarily what I want to display. Of course, remember that inside the MidJourney you can also use different algorithm that need you more anime style, and you can see this is as well produce quite a bit impressive result with this. Okay, so let's go ahead now look in a stable diffusion, and right here you can see with stable diffusion I'm using MidJourney, kind of similar. It's what we want to do, the model. And one thing, remember, the result may vary based on what model you're using, but in general, with me trying a lot of different type of the models, the result will be always just little below. It still be not bad. If you look how closer it's getting, stable diffusion is actually produce good details, good amount of elements, and it's not bad. But again, MidJourney here as a quality of work, I will say step ahead of this. It's look better, more illustrated, easier, and more interesting to the eye. Keep in mind, any eye, period, any eye, it's very subjective. It's based on the person who want to do. So it's for somebody, maybe that is excellent, for another not, but general, I'm going from my perspective of view. Okay, let's go look on the MidJourney, on the Dall-e, sorry. And at Dall-e, you can see it's kind of painting. It does try to apply like watercoloring effect because it's part of there. So, and it did not bad job on this. However, detalizations is lower, and it's based on a Dall-e. So they about time for them to make a little bit bigger, upscale, add more details to the work, what they have it. Okay, and if we look also on the Night Cafe, this is Night Cafe. You can use different models, and currently I was utilizing Stable Diffusion 2.1, which you can see exactly result of this, which is still be not bad. It does not produce a bad result. However, it is definitely feel this AI illustrationally miss some details, miss depth in the image with detalizations. And of course, just for the example, we can use it the Mage.space, which is utilize all these different models, and you can see with the just Stable Diffusion 2.1 is what result we have. It kind of cartoonishy thing effect, but again, it is not up to level of, definitely not up to level of MidJourney, but it's still acceptable for maybe some type of work. So overall, personally, I think that from the quality of the image and all this stuff, it is MidJourney definitely ahead of the another services, AI services. It's much better producing result and closer to what you want to do. So in speak about closer what you want to do, it speak about the strings or content or the prompts that we need to put it in. From personal experience, I feel when Stable Diffusion is used, you actually needed more twing with the input. You needed kind of apply negative prompts. You can do positive. You can, it's very flexible. Don't take me wrong. You can actually adjust and tweak a lot of in the prompt. You can create a lot of very elaborate effects. You can also merge with other ones. You can do a lot of effects. But that is my point, is that as an artist, you start focusing on how to use tool, not on creating art. Tool or usage of the tool become your main focus, and that is not work for some digital artists. For some, maybe it is fun to create this. In some cases, when I used to work with Fractal, I did like work with functions to create all the stuff kind of was interesting, but it's part of the creation for me at this time. But if we're looking as art is going, type in string and so on, have it result. Stable diffusion is not one of the easiest with a pre-processing text on this, because sometimes you can see people put it like lines and lines of the prompt, lines of negative prompts, plus they're putting special like a double bracket, single bracket, and all this stuff, put it additional weights and all those complex things to do there. And it does make computer process properly image, but it feels almost like programming language, and this is take away for some people away from creativity. So it's add this extra complexity that you don't need it. With a Dall-e, if you're using with a prompt, they do have it a little bit more simplified prompt, but in some cases I will say too simplify. You cannot kind of rearrange. In some cases text get lost, but overall the text process as natural language is actually not bad at all, and I will say it is almost up to line with MidJourney, but MidJourney have it one small edge with this, and specifically is how easy to work with this, and they add additional elements inside the text that allowed you to kind of emphasize on some elements. So for example, even here we go to like imagine, okay, like for example double quotes with separating, single quote and value. You can add weight to these, and you can add all those additional elements, so you can control some position, but it is still be simplicity. I don't need to understand in a big way how it's work. All what I need to do is use a natural language to just explain right what I want to see, and it will display. So I think it's a have a very good balance between what prompts using without overwhelm the user, and as well it just uses natural language. And many times when you just type simple natural language, MidJourney does very good processing and nice display on that. Of course, I'm not going to look with the Night Cafe or the some other languages, because they are languages with other service online stable diffusion, because they all will be related to stable diffusion. However, some text pre-processing may be a little bit different. If we look at Blue Willow with text input, they're actually keeping very close to the MidJourney, but it is new service. They're still growing up, so they're still not yet. They don't support all commands that MidJourney does, but it does get very close to the MidJourney, in many cases actually even with syntaxes. Okay, so if MidJourney is that good, what's the problem? Why people still some not using and other things? MidJourney does grow, but here's a one big minus on a MidJourney, and it is the pricing. So because if we look, your basic it starts $10 a month. For $10 a month, you will get it very small generations, about 200 images, which is not that much a month. After this, you need to go to the $30 a month, where you can get it about 15 hours fast processing or unlimited on a relax. And I found that current actual GPU and how they're working relax work almost as fast as a fast processing as well. And because they're running in a version 4, which is still technically in beta, they don't have a full upscale to 2000 pixels, then you almost never will go use your fast hours. And in fact, for last 3 months or whatever, I am using only half of my fast hours, and the rest is just reset. And of course, you can go to Pro plan and pay $60. This is expensive. $30 it is price. But what I noticed online, several options like discrete and other ones, they are using $30 a month. Also charge, that seems standard. To me, it's a little bit too high, because you can get Adobe Photoshop plan for about $10 a month, which includes Photoshop, Lightroom, Camera Raw, and other ones. And they're quite more sophisticated tools. Okay, so this pricing, however, the price also included in other ones. If you run by yourself at home machine, it seems like you don't have cost, but in reality you do, because you want to purchase the card. I'm running on 3090 RTX, and if you run on lower machine or with like maybe 1020, it will run, but it will run slow. You can load it different models, and there do exist models that utilize less RAM and GPU, but they will run much slower because they will be using shared memory, and it will slow down quite a bit performance of your machine. So you can use it also free online services, for example, like Mage. It's have it free, unlimited if you use in Stable Diffusion 1.5 or 2.1, those models. If you want to use any other models, it's relatively inexpensive, like about $5 a month. You can purchase and you can utilize those, some of the functionality a little bit more. Some of them, like for example, Night Cafe, you have it free every day. I think like twice, maybe a day, about 10 credits totally a day. You can probably can have it, which you can collect and use it afterwards, or you can purchase. Same purchase credits. It's how the Dall-e work as well. You need to have it credits, so you can go and you purchase and you buy additional credits to use for that applications. Several other applications online which allow you to create free images, but they usually suffer from very low resolution. And it's another things with Stable Diffusion, what I found, bunch of services they offer only like 512 by 512. If you want to go higher, you need to pay extra money. Currently, actually, only other one service that I found offer very large resolution. It is Blue Willow, but again, I don't know how long they will go for free and how to use it. So this is one thing what I need to say about MidJourney. As a one minus, it is still be relatively expensive, but again, it's a business. They're making money and they're providing service for this as well. And so we have it positive, we have it one negative, and one as a neutral is because based on the user, it is an interface. So many people like the web interface. We can go look on how it's work. MidJourney utilize the Discord interface, and some people find this little bit hard to understand how it's work and hard to use with user interface. It's a little bit harder for them. Personally, I actually do like when utilizing using of Discord, because kind of when you know how it's work, it's very easy to operate, and for me, a huge plus, I can run on multiple platforms without worry, and it's all integrated together. So overall, even right here, we can look on what people, as example, render. You can say the image is definitely stunning images created, and you don't need a master degree to create these images. Okay, you don't need a master degree in understanding prompts. All what you need to do, just write the prompt you want it to do, and MidJourney understand, translate very well, and you can create a very nice looking render art from the MidJourney. So quality of the generated art, the easy to use, upscale level, and as well accessibility to your own work. So what I was meaning by this, you can actually web interface on a MidJourney develop very well. So it's meaning you can go to your own portfolio, select images what you wanted. You can download it, all of them, select in group. So UI actually develop very well. Not just when you work in Discord, but general when you even go on the web, you can very easy manage your assets. You copy, you group, categorize, label them. As well, you can look on other people and share prompt or use it some inspirations from those people works in your own work. So I think all of this together is what created MidJourney as personal, I think, #1 AI generated art services online. And they keep on going. They're introducing new stuff. They're introducing new models. They're introducing blending. They're introducing the Niji anime stuff. So all of this kind of keep on going and growing. So it will be interesting to see what's happening in the future if any other models or any other companies come closer to this. I'm sure they will. But right now, at this point, this is what makes MidJourney #1 for me. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, give us thumbs up, subscribe, share this video, help my channel grow, and have a great day to exploring and creating your art.